Hey, I heard you guys were looking for me. Hi, guys. It's your favorite federal informant. How's everybody doing today? How is everybody doing today? Y'all, I wanted to go live to address all the rumors, all the stories you've been hearing about what happened outside the courthouse. I heard some people were looking for me. I heard they had stories to tell. And I said, well, hell, if everybody getting clicks and views off of my name, I might as well pop up and tell y'all what really happened. Y'all, let's get into this. Okay, first of all, hi, my name is Tisa. I am a federal informant. I decided to come clean. Here is my employee ID. Can you guys see that? Here's my employee ID. And I want to thank all the YouTube sleuths and content creators that got that together. Again, I want to come clean. Here is my employee ID. As you can clearly see, I work for the FBI branch of the YouTube, and this is my employee ID. It's time I clean. Y'all listen, what is going on? Let me just say this, okay? I've been chilling. I've been by the pool. Y'all see the tan. I have been barbecuing. I have been minding my own business. The Diddy trial was a circus. But can I also say I have been entertained? I have been entertained just having a key, eating my cherries, eating my watermelon, floating around, and having a key. My family has been having a key too, out of all the lies and rumors that have been circulating about me. But you know what? I am going to address everyone and give you guys a little background about what actually happened at the trial, because unlike a lot of people, I was there from the beginning. A lot of content creators were, and I noticed they are the ones being quiet, but being quiet because they're not haters, right? But I was there from the beginning, and I'm going to actually give y'all But can y'all hear? I'm sorry. I'm going to actually give y'all what actually happened, okay? And I'm going to address it all in order, which means I'm just going to jump around. But first of all, right? The key. It was a key. First of all, let me just say this. Tattletales, I saw y'all out there windmilling for me in the streets. We are family, and you don't play about me just like I don't play about y'all, right? I do not play about y'all, and y'all don't play about me. I saw y'all in the streets windmilling. But you guys, let me just say this. You guys, I am fine. Listen, what happened in the courthouse? What? Nobody worried. Y'all, if you didn't know, because a lot of people are making up this thing because I'm silent, they think, baby, my man kept 2 armed guards on me the entirety of the court case. And everybody, whether they wanted to see it or not, saw my armed guards from the day I arrived to the day I left. Some days I only had 1 armed guard because the other one might have been sick, but that was not right. My man had 2 armed guards on me at all times during the trial. So I was never in any danger. Even that last day, all right, that everybody wants to talk about. I know y'all saw the live streams. You guys, what you didn't see where there were 2 armed guards stopping anybody from jumping on me. Now, let me just say this. I can 100% handle myself. But I do want to say this. It was traumatic, but not for the reason you guys think. Have you ever been confronted with breath so bad that you can see them coming around the corner? Breath so bad that you can literally, they enter the room 2 hours before they do. I do not know what's going on, but when these young men decide, and it's always the ones that want to hit women, abuse women, but then they see 2 armed guards standing around and they think again, yes, B, you thought. However, can I just say this? It's always the young men that are, I use that term loosely, or old men that are washed up and mad that they're not young men anymore because somehow, I don't know. My daddy always said, watch out for men that resent stuff, right? And You and this is the most traumatic thing. You guys talking about, oh, Tisa, you could have been hurt. Baby, first of all, I can handle myself. Yes, it was disconcerting to see a grown man yelling and crashing out, hoping they could rip me apart, but they can't because there's two armed guards that my man got me because I guess he knows what evil lies in the hearts of men. I thought he was just being overprotective, but apparently he was protecting me. Anyway, back to the dragon breath, right? They screaming and yelling. Even my armed guards are like, oof, what the heck? It looks like somebody opened up a urinal, like a porta potty, got tipped over, right? And the thing is, and I just want to put this out as a PSA. I know a lot of people rub their two little pennies together to get some grills. And maybe they got some grills because they think the youngins are going to be like, oh my God, he got money. And maybe some women might think you got money until you open your mouth to talk or scream or yell and crash out, and it smells like a porta potty hitting me in the face. Baby, forget about the words, forget about the fist. The breath was like pow, pow, pow. I literally was like, oh. In the breath, pow, 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 pow. Even the security was like, God damn, like what is going on? You got the money for the grills, but it's like getting, like I said, it's like buying a house and you can't afford a gardener. I know we only have to get our teeth cleaned every 6 months or so, which equals out about to once a year, give or take. But if you are going to get grills, you need to be in that doctor's office, the dentist's office, at least every 2 or 3 months, getting it irrigated. If you cannot afford that, buy a water pick. They are $34.99 from Amazon. I swear to you, buy a water pick. Again, that was the most traumatic thing that happened to me. Pow, pow, pow. Just like a mess of a porta potty. I was like this, like, what the hell? The security was even like, did you smell that? And of course, the person that got the worst breath. So you got all this because you think that these young girls gonna think you have money, but everybody's gonna know you broke when they smell your dental hygiene. What else screams, I am broke, I am ashy, I am degenerate, then grills, but you don't got money for the dental cleanings. Ugh, God, just swamp mouth, yuck mouth, whatever. And again, if you guys would like me to get my armed security on live to testify the scent that was in the air, the scent that even they were like, what the hell? They thought those mofos were, well, you know what? Let's just move it on. Let's hope you guys listen. I appreciate and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But wait, hold on. My thing's about to go dead. Hold on. Let me plug my computer in. My computer's about to go dead. No. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. My computer's about to go dead. Hold on. Okay. All right. Hold on. My computer is no longer going dead. Hold on. Okay. So, there we go. What's going on? Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I think my phone, okay, I'm good. My camera starts to go dead. Anyway, right? So you guys, listen, I know you guys don't play about me, just like I don't play about you, but I just do want you guys to know once and for I was completely safe. I was taken aback by the yuck mouths. I was wondering what was going on. The breath was slapping me in the face, but know that I was 100% certain. Second of all, I know that everybody, and y'all don't play about me, I don't play about you. And I appreciate you guys really going hard for me, right? Really going hard for me. But just know, these losers are gaming you. They are gaming you, and they were hoping the fact that I wasn't going to speak on it, but they are gaming you, okay? They are, first of all, no, let me rewind. Let me address these rumors. Okay, so you guys have already seen my employee ID. You guys have already seen my employee ID. And apparently, hold on, let me hold it up again. I'm nobody talk. You've already seen my employee ID. I work for the FBI branch of YouTube. Here is my employee ID. As you see, it's a very realistic interpretation, right? Right? And I heard all these rumors. Apparently now I can't speak on Black people because I am what? Filipina at times, half Indian. Let me just say this, right? These losers out here are insane. All right. I don't know what, I honestly don't know whether to be offended or just confused. Put it like this. Y'all have seen my edges in 90-degree New York City things. Y'all have seen my edges fighting for their life in 90-degree New York City weather. Y'all have seen the edge control slide down the side of my face. Y'all have seen me at NBC literally have arguments because they didn't have the right. Sorry, not NBC, sorry. ABC, literally freaking out because I didn't have any edge control. Thank God. Derek saved me. Y'all have seen me at NBC, at ABC, being like, do y'all have any makeup for Black people? Y'all have seen my edges in New York's 90-degree New York City humidity, fighting for their lives. And this is what they get. What type? Is this a new breed of Indian? Is this a new breed of Filipina? Half the time they like, you wearing a wig, but yet I'm a Filipino. What is going on? What is going on? You guys, in my life, I am not even racially ambiguous. There's never in my life been someone that's been like, what is she? I can't figure out what she is. What do you think? She's so ambiguous. Baby, they see these edges curling up. My 4 Black grandparents. And these fools try to dox, try to do this. These fools and the stupid male-identified dusty women, right? Baby, anyway, let's get into this, right? Maybe if you weren't native to America and you moved here later in life, but you cannot tell me that you grew up in America or grew up around Black people and did not see anyone that looked like me. You cannot say I'm an ambiguous light-skinned woman. What is going on? Again, these losers. But I can't say I have been entertained. I've been having a key. I've been barbecuing, floating in the pool, and having a key. A key. I don't understand though. I don't understand. Y'all saw my edges in 90-degree New York City weather. If there was ever a shadow of a doubt, are y'all serious? Man, anyway, right? Listen, I've been laughing nonstop. I haven't been enjoying the weekend. But you guys, I do want to say thank you so much. This trial was so hectic. But this weekend has been a key. Hold on. I had another note I wanted to talk about. Listen, again, you guys, I can handle myself. And the part that I couldn't, because I was telling my man that I can handle myself. And he's like, no woman can handle herself around men. That's why he had 2 shooters, one on my left, one on my right. Unlike Diddy with the sawed off serial numbers, baby, they was licensed to carry. And yes, they knew all the police officers and all the U.S. Marshals. And baby, I was 100% protected. The worst part about like that confrontation out of the courthouse is that I have never been accosted or spoken to by somebody with that dirty a mouth. Like at what point, like I didn't know that people's mouths could smell like porta potties. I didn't know. I heard about the yuck mouth with the grills, but I've never encountered anybody because the gentlemen I know that have grills, they're in the dentist's office every 2.5, 3 months getting the cleanings and they're using the water peck. They're making sure that their choices for their mouth hygiene does not affect me. And that's all. Listen. And I do want to say this, whatever those idiots thought they were going to accomplish by running up on me, because I guess they're used to women that aren't protected, right? I guess listen, I guess they're used to women that aren't protected or they're used to having their way. I mean, I guess they thought they'd be like, hey, and then I'd be like, oh, and just fall out. I guess their breath, that's all they had to do. And I would just be on the floor, knockout, KO, right? And listen, I 100% do know, I don't know what those idiots thought they were going to accomplish by running up on me, but by the end of the day, they knew what was up. They knew not to play with me, and they knew what was up, right? And that's why they mad. That's why they mad, because at the end of the day, they were exposed for being little bitchs. Yes, I took the manhood. Yes, my balls were bigger than them. And I had 2 shooters on my left and right to back it up. And they're mad. And now they going and they trying to get their little thing. Baby, please. Please, please, please. You can talk about me all you want. Your balls still ain't gonna drop. People say, you wonder why that girl didn't give you a number. It's not because of the way you look, it's because of the way your mouth smells. And you don't even have anybody close enough to you, your friends included, that care about you to actually tell you, Ninja, your mouth stinks. That's why every girl's giving you the same face. That's why you can't get any play. That's why you sitting in your room mad. Do you, when you are sitting in your room talking on the phone, do you ever get up out your room and then walk back in and be like, who farted? No one farted. It's you. You don't ever leave your room and come back in and the smell of your breath is still there. You never chewed a piece of gum and said, what's that taste? It's your breath. That just shows that you are unwashed and unloved because you don't even have any friends close enough to let them know what the real problem is. I don't know. Listen. Thank you. Again, thank you for saying, Tisa, I don't believe you have to go through that. You guys, I don't believe I had to go through that. I literally sat down in a broad detail, literally with animation, using my whole body, was explaining to my man the spiritual assault. I don't know what demonic energy smells like, but I think that was the closest I've ever seen. It was necrophilia, cannibalism. I don't know what's going on. What other notes did I say? Listen, you guys, at the end of the day, thank you for looking out for me. I don't play about y'all either. I be windmilling. I do not. You are not my supporters. You're not my fans, baby. We are a family. But let me tell you, like, these people are losers. And you guys, don't take anything they're saying seriously. I don't take it seriously. These people are losers. They are no one. They don't have any power. Baby, they cannot take my channel down. They cannot make me disappear. And the gag is they can't sue me for ish either. These people are highly unserious losers. And they sit behind their screen talking Billy Badass, probably stinking up their whole room with their infected yuck mouth grills. Listen. But that's the thing, y'all. They tried to steal my shine, but they didn't steal my shine. I'm still here. I literally took a day off. Listen. Again, listen, you're welcome. The fact that they need my name for clicks, the fact that I am the best content they ever had, you're welcome. What can I say except you're welcome? What's that song? I know it's hard. I know it's hard to take it all. The face, the hair, the bod. When you're staring at a demigod, what can I say except you're welcome? Tell them they're welcome, all right? Listen, again. What else? These people are dumb. I took some notes. These people are bums and losers. Don't pay them any mind. You guys, they are gaming you. They want the click. They want the views. Do not take them seriously on my behalf. They are losers. They are jokes. They are trying to get you guys to click on a rage bait because you guys are busy defending me because I don't play about y'all the way y'all don't play about me. They're trying to get that click so they can get money for the dental cleaning because clearly they're overdue by 3 years. Listen, I don't care. Let them talk their stuff. These people are bum losers. Okay, so listen. And they are bum losers, and you guys do not think, and they know. That's why when we were face to face, they didn't have shit to say, right? They didn't have shit to say. They didn't have shit to trust me. I'll get into that story. But the whole point of the matter is they are bum losers. And they're like, you guys, you can't actually think that I'm not scared of them. I'm not. The most traumatic thing that happened was being confronted with their breath. I'm not scared of them at all, okay? They are gaming you. They just want clicks. They just want views. Don't give it to them. You don't got to defend me. And they don't got the power to take away ish at all. All right? Listen. Oh, so what is it? Okay. Again, what's the thing? I'm a federal informant or I'm paid by the SDNY. That's right. Here's my employee ID, guys. The SDNY saw my investigation into Quilla Robinson, my expose of Shyman and Portia. I mean, I've done a lot. My rousing coverage of Kim Kardashian, and they said, you 2.5 years early, before we even start the investigation, we're going to go to your channel and we're going to pay you to read court records against. Man, I can't. This is why, you guys, this is my employee ID. This is why you do not take these losers. Listen, I do not take them seriously, right? They are lying in your face and playing with you for views. Now, let's talk about something, right? That they keep talking about. This whole line thing, all right? Let's talk about the lines, because apparently I work for the SDNY and I'm a federal informant because I cut a line. Now, first of all, let me just say, Tisa don't cut no line. See, unlike 80%, actually 100% of the haters, right? And this isn't for all the YouTubers, because first of all, y'all saw me every day going live, in line, and outside of court. Every day. I realize that people that came late to think, but first of all, it's objectively a lie. But let's just do this, right? There were YouTubers and content creators and media, obviously media, like myself, who were there the first day of the actual trial. I did not come during the jury selection. I showed up the first day of the trial, May 12th, okay? I'm giving y'all some tea about what really happened. So when you showed up to the trial, you had two options. You could either get a line sitter or you could wait in line. Everybody either got a line sitter or waiting in line. I, along with other media, reporters, journalists, we were waiting in line together. How do y'all know? Go back to my lives. Y'all saw me going live in line. You saw me with my place. Two options, line sitter or wait in line, okay? Most of the media had line sitters. Some people from the public had line sitters too. There's nothing wrong with having a line sitter. People, you pay good money to those line sitters, anywhere between $300 and $500 a day, to come out at 5 o'clock the night before and sit in your place. This is something that everybody knew. This is something that is legal, and this is something that goes on in the Southern District of New York. And this is something that a lot of these haters late to the party didn't realize, because they weren't even there from the beginning, and they came at the end. Now, I'm not talking about the people at the end of the line, and I'm not trying to shade anybody at the end of the line, but you were at the end of the line. That means that you either didn't get a line sitter, or you woke up late and you came to the courthouse around 7:30 or 8, and you found yourself at the end of a line that was 50, 60, 80 people deep. If you were at the end of the line, can you really even comment on what happened at the front of the line? Anyway, right? Listen, now here's the thing. That is why I am laughing, because half of these content creators that aren't haters and were there from the beginning, they knew too. They either waited in line or they got line sitters, okay? All the media either waited in line or they got line sitters, okay? And this is why I was laughing, because everybody knew this. This wasn't a secret. This is the way the Southern District of New York works when people are lining up. They have a line for the press and they have a line for the public. New media, which I'm counted because I am media, and a bunch of other new media, we waited in the public, because the press line, you have to have press credentials. Press credentials is like literally like this, right? This is press credentials, but all jokes aside, it's like a laminated thing. It has your name, it has the outlet you're working for, and it has and it says press all around it. And it had your face, your name, and the outlet. A lot of people, and I'm not going to put them on blast because it's none of my business, that were claiming to be press and are on Twitter and stuff claiming to be press. You're mad because when you get your press credentials, just like with new media, I had to submit a thing. I'm getting ahead of myself. You submit your credentials. They look at it to see if you're actually telling the truth. And if you're telling the truth, you get a press pass or you get a new media thing, right? A lot of people that say they're press, when it came down to it, a certain YouTuber had more credentials to actually get a pass than these people saying they press. So they hating on that also. But let me tell y'all what happened, right? So, hold on. Am I skipping over thing? Okay. So let me tell you what happened. So everybody's waiting in line. About 3.5, 4 weeks in the trial, a bunch of Diddy supporters, they said they were Diddy supporters, and they were screaming, started causing trouble in the line. They were threatening people. They were swinging chairs. They were swinging 4x4s. The police got called a couple of times, right? The U.S. Marshals tried to ignore it. We're still waiting in line. There were also fights that started. So what happened is one of the legal analysis working with the U.S. Marshals or the U.S. Marshals that were outside, they were like, yo, there's all these fights starting. There's this and that. It wasn't over line spots. It was just people acting crazy. And they're like, it's not safe. Can the press put their name down on a list, like when you go and check in, right? Because in the main courtroom, there's a bunch of spots for press, but for public, there's only 14 spots, right? I'm giving y'all inside tea, right? So anyway, they were like, yo, we're going to start a list so people don't have to stand in line and risk having to fight these Diddy supporters. This is like 6:30 in the morning, you guys. And you know I was out there because 7:30. I would go live around 7:30 because I didn't think y'all was up at 6:30. But, so anyway, they started creating a list. The list was for the people, the order of people in the line outside. So when you came up, whether you switch places, the line sitter would wait in line for you. And then when you would come, the line sitter would switch with you, right? So whether the line sitter switched with you or not, when they made that list, if you weren't there but your line sitter was, they wouldn't put your name on the list. So what happens is they would make a list. This is outside on a public sidewalk. They would make a list and be like, okay, Darla, you were first. Stephanie, you were second. Tanya, you were third. Terry, you were fourth. Brian, you were fifth. Like they would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Bernardo, you were sixth. They would do 1, 2 because there were a lot of people that be there. What was the purpose of that? So people didn't have to wait in line with the Diddy loonies and the police didn't have to get called again. So what happened is they would let you go and kind of move out of the line so you didn't have to wait there, okay? And then this is for the main courtroom only, and it was not even a reward, a courtesy for the people that were there every morning braving it. So they would make a public list and they would make a list. The U.S. Marshals, and you were allowed to kind of like, not go off, but you stayed close, but you didn't have to stay in line because those Diddy supporters were going crazy in line, right? I was always 1 through 7 of the public list because I either always had a line sitter or I was there early because I was doing what everybody else was, which was 100% fair and just, okay? Here's the thing. They didn't just take your word for it. They would literally look and be like, were you here doing this? Blah, 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 blah. You would have to prove that you were. And the people around you would have to vouch what your number was. So that was in the public. Then we would have to go through security. Then we would line up again in the hallway on the first floor because they let us in with the courthouse, but they wouldn't let us up to the 26th floor. That's the main courthouse. Overflow was a different subject. The people that didn't get into the first 14 slots for public, they had to go to overflow. And the press, I believe, had like the press had like 30 spots, right? Or 28 spots. They had basically double what the public had. Anyway, once you got on that list on the line, you had to go through security, then you had to line up on the first floor again. Once you lined up on the first floor, then you went upstairs, okay? Now, at this point, there was no list for the courtroom upstairs. That's just how it was. There were a lot of fights starting. The Diddy supporters would have people would be in line and be like, I don't feel safe. Can I come back? So how did the upstairs list happen? Because there was a list for upstairs. But let me tell you something, right? That downstairs line sitter list, this is what I mean about half these sorry, mommy. Half these haters on YouTube, they knew that. All the haters on YouTube knew that. All of them. Now, listen, there are a lot of content creators that aren't hating because they know what it was. The only way you couldn't know it was there were a bunch of content creators that weren't putting the work in, and again, I don't want to judgment because maybe, you have life happening. Sometimes you can't drop everything and run to a trial. I'm not saying that nobody was being lazy. I'm talking about the haters, right? That were planning to come out only for the defense. Now, first of all, let me ask you a question. And this is reporters, this is media, and this is also YouTubers, right? Ask yourself why in a trial you decided to only pop up for the defense's side. A lot of them were also getting transcripts from Diddy's PR person. Now, what is that? I was offered transcripts from Diddy's PR. And I literally said, thank you so much for your generous offer, because those trial transcripts came out daily and they were anywhere between $500 and $1,500 a day. Sometimes they went up to $2,000 if it was a lot of testimony. I was able to get the transcripts because you guys helped me with the super chats. And I remember with the super chats, I was like, you guys, thank you so much for helping me get the transcripts. I appreciate it. Diddy's PR person, Diddy's team, offered me the trial transcripts, just like they offered everyone the trial transcripts. And I said to them, you know what? I really appreciate your generous offer, but I don't like taking anything of value from people I am doing stories on. Oh, no, I know it's not like that, but for myself, I don't like taking anything of value from people I'm doing stories for. It creates some type, in my mind, it creates some type of tether. It creates something where you owe them something. It creates a social contract I don't want to enter into. And that's at the very best. At the very worst, it opens up the door that they think that they can start throwing you things, maybe favors, maybe this, maybe that. And pretty soon, maybe they might throw you money, but they know what they're doing. And somebody offering you something between $500 and $2,000 a day, depending on what day the thing is, that's a lot of money. And it's basically like somebody giving you something of value. I don't like taking things of value from people, and I damn sure am not taking it from people that I know have an agenda. I looked at them as them trying to open a door. I looked at it as them trying to open a door, okay? So I said no. I said, you know me, I'm polite. Thank you so much for your generous. Plus, they were like, they're going to email it to you from Sean Combs Global Entertainment. Ask your fave, even your fave Twitter reporters, how they got their transcripts. Ask them. Did anybody actually say that they were getting their transcripts from Diddy? And I don't mean after, when they thought they were going to be exposed. I mean before they were exposed. I don't know. I think it's important to know, as somebody is giving you something each day worth somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000. I think that's important. But you know what? That's just me, right? So anyway, a lot of people were taking the Diddy deal. A lot of them. And ask yourself why a lot of these people popped up when Diddy's side was about to go on the offense. Now, they played themselves because Diddy ended up calling no witnesses. So New York is very expensive. New York was very hot. It's hard to find places to stay. It's very expensive. It's a pain in the butt having to either hire a line sitter or go out there. I get it. People were mad, right? People were mad. People were wondering how I was able to afford security. Don't ask me, ask my man. He likes my face the way it looks, and he doesn't want anything to happen to it. It's not my fault, right? Did I say, y'all wondering why I got security? right? Why I'm either standing in line or got a line sitter. Am I asking why y'all are taking $2,000 transcripts a day from Diddy's team and not disclosing that to your followers? No. Because why? Because I mind my business. I see everything and I can tell y'all a lot of tea and I will, but I mind my business. I mind my business, right? So that was a little side tangent. Let me tell y'all about the list upstairs. She had a VIP seat. I had a because here's my work ID, y'all. Here's my work ID. I work for the FBI branch of YouTube. This is my employee ID, right? She had a VIP seat. Let me tell you about this VIP seat, right? And again, all the haters were not there. So they weren't waiting in line. They would come around 10 or 11 to go sit in the overflow room. And again, there's nothing wrong with sitting in the overflow room at all. I'm not trying to say, literally, when I had to leave early because during closing, they locked the courtroom doors. I didn't know if I was going to have to leave early or not. So I went to the overflow room. The overflow room was a vibe. It was a key. But a lot of these people that are sitting there hating, they weren't even there early enough to even get into the main courtroom. They literally made up lies and ran with it for clicks and views. And they counted on the fact that y'all wouldn't actually know what's going on. But I'm breaking down inside stuff about what was going on, right? Another thing, right? They would come, the haters would come. They wouldn't even take notes. They wouldn't do anything. They would be, I don't know what, reading inner city, I don't know. And they would be all day in the courtroom, just not courtroom. There's a courtyard, right? I was in that courtroom. Y'all know because I would run downstairs. Guys, back to the courtroom. I had insight that you could not get from inner city press. And I was not having lunch meetings, running up to Diddy's people, getting my marching orders. Again, Diddy's PR, and I'm not going to put anybody on blast because people believe what they want to believe. And my goal is not to make you side-eye your fave. Have your fave. Maybe, like, again, this is not a scarcity mindset. There is more than enough for all of us, okay? But your faves were meeting with Diddy's PR morning, noon, and night. Diddy's PR was telling them the way they thought the testimony was going. Diddy's PR was telling them what the key figures are. Diddy's PR, even when they offered me the trial transcripts, right? I was like, I don't like taking anything of value from anyone, but thank you, especially people I'm covering. Those were my words verbatim. I said it to a lot of people. You guys have no idea how many people email me things, how many people want to send me things, how many people want to send me money, blah, 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 blah. I've always said the same thing. Invite me to places. Oh, there's a this and that. Oh, have you ever thought we could get you on this brand trip? I've always said, thank you very, very much for your generous offer, but I do not feel, what did I say? That's what it is. As a habit and a rule, I do not accept anything of value from anyone related to a story that I am covering. That's just my whole thing, right? Anyway, Diddy's team told me, right? This is in the beginning when they thought they could suck me in, right? They told me, oh, but even if you don't want this, don't worry, because we also, if you don't want to read, because I guess they thought I was stupid. If you don't want to read the whole trial transcript, we actually highlight the parts of the transcript you can focus on, so it makes it easier for you to report. You guys, ask yourself why these haters all have the same viewpoint. I don't care about people's opinions. I have my opinions too. These idiots don't know the difference between a lie and an opinion. Right? An opinion is you actually read the transcripts, you tell what happened, and then you give your opinion on what you think that means. Far different than a lie. But why were they crashing out over it? Because these same people, ask yourself why all these haters, right? Ask yourself why they all had the same talking points. To the point they're like, well, so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so said it was A and B. Why does everybody have the same exact talking point? Because they took the Diddy deal. And if I firmly believe that if I had taken those transcripts, I heard from other people too, when you take the transcripts, they start offering you other little things to spice up your life. They offer you opportunities. They offer you money. They offer you things to work together. They offer ways it can be a long-term thing. Baby, like I said, there is nothing you can give me nor take away. There is no place you can invite me or disinvite me from. There's no list you can put me on or take me off of to ever make me sacrifice my integrity. I don't care if I'm wrong or right. I mean, when I'm wrong, I don't know I am, but I will always stand on what I think is the just and right cause. And if I think something is just and right, there is nothing you can give me to ever make me change my mind or say anything that could help some demonic stuff move around, right? And this isn't me being righteous. It's just the way but the way I am is the way y'all are. Like that's just what it is, right? The way I am is the way y'all are. We are family. Like, no. And you know what? I'm not even going to put myself in that situation to be compromised. I know I was supposed to be reading Bible, but I listened close enough. When they were, sorry guys, make it comfortable. I listened close enough when they were preaching about the Bible. No, that's a slippery slope. No, I do not want these daily $2,000 a day transcripts. That means at the end of it, a karmic bond after 30 days, $2,000 a day. You've given me $60,000 worth of documents. And it wasn't just YouTube content creators. It was journalists. It was reporters. It was a lot of people. So that's on that, right? So Diddy's team, right? I think they tried it. And a lot of people were taking it. And they weren't even reading the transcripts. How lazy is that? Diddy's team would tell them, this is the part you need to focus on in the transcript and send it out like a daily news blast. Now, I would say if y'all are that dummies on Diddy's payroll, Diddy's PR thing at least asked for some money, but I heard there was a lot going on the Diddy side. I didn't even let them. Now, funny enough, first they tried to be nice to me. And when that didn't work, because you know me, well, y'all don't know me, but I'm very, very, yeah. But when it comes to you trying to like make me in any way bend my integrity, that's when I put up the hard line, right? But I'm still very, hi, genial, but I know to stay away from you. After that happened, right? Then they tried to create an incident to get me kicked out of court. We'll talk about that later. But let me get back to that list, okay? And then we'll get into that. So the list. Hi, if you guys are just joining, my name is Tisa. I work for the FBI branch of YouTube. I'm coming clean. Here is my employee ID. Let me just put it closer. Here's my employee ID. I work for the FBI branch of YouTube. Even though y'all saw my edges reverting in 90-degree New York humidity, there are still doubts on whether I have 4 Black grandparents. I don't know what this be insulted, offended, or just loud. You guys, again, one thing I can say from this is I do appreciate you guys never playing around me. Again, I'll say it a million times. I don't play about y'all, but you guys stop giving these haters clicks and views because that's what they want. They want to get a fund to get their teeth irrigated. They want to get a fund to get that yuck mouth. I don't understand how somebody's breath sounds like a porta potty. Clearly, you show you are unloved because nobody close to you is actually telling you what the issue is. No one. Listen, I'm glad God blessed me with family and friends that will hold me down, shove Listerine breath mints in every crevice of my mouth while they rush me to the dentist for an emergency cleaning. Thank you, right? In any case, so the list upstairs, right? Tisha was given a VIP list. That's how I know you weren't in the courtroom. That's how I know you were faking. That's how I know that you were down in there's a courtyard, right? That looked like a high school courtyard. Why people were supposed to be up in the trial, taking notes, paying attention, all this stuff. How do I know, baby? I have like 50 notebooks filled to the brim with notes. They were in the courtyard with the rest of the bums and losers hanging out. And then wanting to go live or write articles and wondering why nobody's reading them. They're not reading them because they can tell that you're not in that courtroom, right? So anyway, the overflow room was a vibe, but a lot of these haters, they were not. And again, you guys, I'm not talking about all the YouTubers. There were a lot of YouTubers actually putting in the work, doing whatever, right there with me, lock, stock, and key, right? There were a lot of reporters. There were a lot of journalists. I'm talking about the haters. I'm talking about the haters, right? Anyway, so how did the VIP list get started upstairs? First of all, it wasn't a VIP list. It was a media list. How did the media list start? So there was a Diddy supporter. Y'all heard about it, where she literally said, y'all, that a black man's legacy. You're trying to destroy a black man's legacy, which I thought she was paid by Diddy's team because she was one of the people that was also wearing the free Diddy t-shirts. And we saw that Diddy's team was paying people $20 to wear free Diddy t-shirts. When that happened, the court people tried to escort her out. The judge wasn't on the bench yet. And she literally said, "Ninja, pull your gun, pull your gun." And it looked like she went for the bailiff's bang bangs. Cause you know, them boys in blue but they got the blicky for when things get sticky, right? And the bulletproof vest, they don't play in federal court. Once that happened, the judge was not on the bench. Had the judge been on the bench, it would have probably been grounds for a mistrial or something would have happened, okay? The judge was not on the bench, okay? However, this woman had to be violently taken out of the courtroom and she tried to grab the one gun. I told you on live because when I heard that, I went, oh, it happened right behind me because I was sitting in the second to last row. I said, oh, I got up and I tiptoed to the other side. I looked around and I was like, because you know my daddy stayed taking me to the gun range. I looked and was like, where's the ricochet? Boom, 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 boom. I'll be safe as over here, right? I said, oh no, we're not doing that. Right? God did not put me on this earth for me to meet my maker in this courtroom. I don't know about much, but I know that's not his divine wish. Anyway, right? When that woman got dragged out, that's when the court said, enough. These Diddy supporters are out of control. They are unhinged, they are violent, and they disrupt the court. And we can't have that. Looking back, it was very prolific. It was very prolific, right? They're like, we can't have that. So what did they do? They said, we need to control who's coming into the courtroom. And we need to make sure that they are vetted people that aren't crazy. So first they started with the media. And they made a list of all the media people that were there. So from now on, no matter what time you got there, right? This was about 2 weeks before the verdict. No matter what time the media got there, and there was a lot of media. A lot of media was in the overflow room. Sunny Houston was there. What's that one girl? What's that one girl? Chloe Milas was there. Sunny Houston. There were a lot. Oh, I saw, what's her name? Gloria Allred and Lisa Bloom. All of them were down there because if you didn't get there by a certain time, you had to be in the overflow room. However, for the main courtroom, they made a media list for the main courtroom. And all the reporters, all the journalists, your Twitter faves, and all the YouTube content creators knew about this. They all knew about this. And the public knew about this too. The public that went there every single day, okay? They made a media list. And, you know, they had people from ABC, NBC, but they were people that had been in the courtroom since the beginning. Everybody saw the list being made. Everybody saw why the list was made. Everybody saw. Bet. Now, at this point, Tisa was still having to wait in line, then go to the first floor, then go this, okay? But Tisa's also an investigator. And Tisa's the investigator, and Tisa's going to find out. So I started asking everybody I knew, how do you get on the list? How do you get on the list? How do you get on the list? Can I go? I think I'm media. Girl, you ain't media. I think I'm media. I've been on ABC. I'm sorry, ABC. I've been on Nightline. I've been on Nancy Grace. I think I'm media. I got to roll. I don't write stuff, but I do daily vlogs. It's new media, right? I asked around. And if these haters had not spent all their time being in the damn courtyard, like it was high school, having a reunion of the bums and the losers, they could have simply asked around too. So right before the verdict, right, I actually found out who to email to ask how to get on the list, okay? Now, I've been in there every single day. It wasn't just, oh, hey, can you? No, I had to show my credentials. What were the credentials? I had to show a reel of my YouTube that I thought represented it. I had to put a link on my YouTube, and I had to put links to all the interviews I had done on Burden of Proof, on Nightline, on Nancy Grace. So they saw what my work was and how it was. It was an application process. I did the application process. There was an approval. I'm not privy to what they used to get the approval, just like the 28 members of the press that got reserved seating for the verdict. I don't know why they picked them either, but they did. I didn't go up to ABC and be like, why'd you get this? What'd you do? Walking around with those short skirts, flirting with everybody? I wasn't an old bitter hater, right? Mad because somebody looked good in the skirt, right? I was an old bitter hater. I literally took the time to find out what the policy and procedure. And the funny thing is, it wasn't a secret. And the funny thing is, all these people lying and being haters, they knew what it was too. That's what I mean. They are gaming you. They want the clicks and views because they knew this too. Everybody knew about the media list, and everybody knew that you could apply for the media list. And everybody also knew, just like you could apply for a press pass. I didn't have time to get a press pass because I decided to go last minute. But to get on the media list, right? There was an application process. I filled out the application. I gave my reel. I gave my credentials. I gave my channel. I gave my reason why I think it was. And guess what? They made spots for quote unquote new media. Now the gag is, I wasn't the only new media. That's what they call people where you're not with legacy media like ABC, NBC, Fox, TMZ. That's legacy media. They called new media if you were like a journalist, or if you were not with any big publication, but you were a journalist on Twitter. You're not with any big publication, but you're a reporter, right, on TikTok, on Instagram, or on YouTube. You're not with any official big conglomerate, but you have the credentials and a resume that you can stand behind, right? Anyway, all these haters, and this is what I mean, they gaming you, they know this. They know this. That's why I've been sitting there in my pool, eating my watermelon cherries, just keying to myself, being like, these people are really playing in y'all faces. They all know this, you guys. They all know this. And they're acting like, what? How'd this happen? Woo! Anyway, that's how I got. It wasn't VIP seating. They expanded the media list to include new media, and I wasn't the only one. And I'm not going to bring up the other content creators, freelance reporters, freelance bloggers, freelance media people that had the resume that when they did it, they expanded the list. They did it out of safety because Diddy's people were acting up in the courtroom. They did it out of safety. And there were 28 members of the actual press that already had guaranteed spots. And then they took spots away from they didn't take spots. They expanded the list for new media. The way the Southern District of the Courthouse works, and this is federal rules, media, because somebody coming in and seeing it for themselves, yes, the public has a right to see it. But in the courtroom, actually seeing, they want as much media in as possible. Why? Because the general public can just go down to the overflow room. When they look at media, yes, if I see it and it's just me, okay, it's my eyes. But if you let somebody from ABC, if you let somebody from Tisa tells, if you let somebody, it's like if I see it, I'm broadcasting it to hundreds of thousands of people. So it's a way for the public to be more informed. Okay? Now, is it my fault? Did I fill out the application? Did I put together or took the time when I'm tired after work to put together a reel, put together a link of all the things I've been through and explain what my channel's about, give a link to my channel, and then put up a highlight of my Diddy coverage? I did that. Was it easy? No. Did I want to go to sleep? Hell yeah. Am I glad I did it? Absolutely. Because guess what? Only when it went to verdict, and mind you, it only went to verdict for how many days? They had not verdict, closing arguments. They had closing arguments. So that started on a Monday or Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday. You guys, 6 days out out there grinding early and hustling early and waking up early out of, what is it? 2 months almost? Was it? Yeah, it was almost 2 months. 6 days of that. The last 6 days, they approved me to be on the new media list. And there were other content creators that were also approved. Freelance reporters, freelance journalists, and freelance content creators who were also approved to be on the new media list. That new media list meant that in the courtroom, the actual courtroom, to look at it, you would have a guaranteed seat. That's it. And then whatever was left from the people, they let the public come in. Now, is it my fault that other content creators didn't even bother to ask how to get on the media list with the 28 media people that halfway through the trial was created and they all knew it was created? Is it? Maybe. Is it my fault that they didn't fill out the application, which was long and annoying? Maybe. Is it my fault that maybe they filled out the application and they looked at their channel and said, this is some bullshit? Nah, maybe. But I'm telling y'all what actually happened. And I say is to say, right? Again, the fact that anyone would even believe the lies, y'all saw me going live outside in the public line every day. Y'all saw me hustling. Y'all saw me running in. And yes, the last 6 days, my application was approved, right? But okay, that's the story. And the thing is, I know it's a boring story. I know it's a boring story, but that's actually what happened. And again, a lot of these haters are running with some stupid narrative about federal informant, paid this, paid that, because they never even bothered to get on the list, or they came at the last minute. So they didn't even know what was going on. So maybe to their dumb, untrained eyes, and when I say dumb, I'm not talking about somebody's intelligence. I'm talking about the way that they were dedicated and committed to misunderstanding. Nonsensical. Like you got, like stop talking. You hurting my brain. You are committed to staying willfully ignorant. You're committed to it. Maybe because they wasn't even in the courtroom. They was playing outside with all their little bum loser friends. Maybe that's it. I honestly don't know. Okay. But that said, and just to be clear, you guys, I'm not talking about all the content creators. I'm talking about the haters and the way the haters are literally conning y'all and gaming y'all by making up all these stories so y'all can go in and be like, leave Tisa alone. And again, I thank you for going hard for me. But you guys, please know, I am not afraid of those people. Those people did not intimidate me. I had 2 armed guards. They won't tell you that. They won't tell you about their stank breath. I had 2 armed guards at all time. My baby does not play about me, my health, or my safety. And that's what happened in line. It's not as salacious and clickbaity as a title and all these like dumb conspiracy theories, but that's actually what happened. And you guys, you don't have to be like, oh my God, stop giving these people clicks and views. Tisa, they said they were gonna pull your channel down. Let me tell you something. These bums and losers cannot take away what God has built. Y'all saw me from the beginning. I built this channel from the ground. Y'all found me when I was building this from the ground. We started a family, and then y'all helped me build it up one video at a time, one like at a time. That was honestly the good of the community. Like that was God's work. I found a community that got me. I go hard for y'all. Y'all got that. This is literally God. They can't tear it down. And even if you take the biblical out of it, these people have no power. You guys stop listening. Just because somebody says it, they have no power. They have no power. They don't even have power to get their teeth cleaned. They have no power. You are listening to someone talk trash from their mama's basement. Stop it. Stop taking them seriously. Because you take them seriously, I think they believe that their lies, it lets them live in like a little dream world until they turn off their computer. And everybody runs away from them because their breath stinks. Listen. They do not have any power over anything. They do not run anything. They do not have the power to ruin anything for me. Tattletales, because y'all been with me from the beginning. Do you know how many people I have pissed off by telling what I consider to be the truth. Diddy's team knows where to find me. Diddy's team was watching my lives more than anyone. Diddy's team tried their hardest several times to get me kicked out of court. I'll get into that in a second. They tried their hardest to get me kicked out of court. Remember the whole marching orders when all these stupid insults were like, Tisa docks federal witnesses. She docks federal witnesses. So let me get this straight. I'm a paid informant. I was paid by the SDNY, but yet I'm doxing witnesses, which the FDNY is. Why would I, if I work for the SDNY, why would I be doxing witnesses? Because that would help. Like, it doesn't make sense. But my whole point of the matter is they tried to get me kicked out of court quite a few times. It didn't work, obviously, because your girl minds her business sometimes, which reminds me, sometimes drinks her water or melted down orange soda. Sometimes drinks her diluted orange soda. Sometimes drinks her water and goes to work for y'all, the thing that you watch me for. You guys not watch me for beef. You don't watch me to hear me talk trash about anybody. You don't watch me, except maybe the slide, but that's different because they was talking about trash about me. But the whole point is, you guys, stop giving these loser clicks and views. From now on, if you hear, I heard Tisa might be alien. I heard she was working for the FBI. I heard she... You heard you literally roll your eyes and ignore it. Act like they that person screaming about the rapture coming next Tuesday. We don't repent. Roll your eyes at these people. They do not have any power. They don't run anything. And baby, they don't have the power to do ish to my YouTube channel. The only thing they have the power to do is make a salacious lie to get y'all to click, because at this point, they want y'all to watch and they want y'all in their comments defending me. Don't give them that. Let the bottom feed. Do you know how many real people with money and power I pissed off during the course of, how long have I been on YouTube? 3.5 years? Do you know how many big money, powerful people and celebrities I pissed off? And guess whose channel is still here? In the words of Tisha Campbell, I'm still here. Listen. They are mad because half of those haters don't even know what was going on because they was too busy hanging out in the courtyard with the rest of the bums and losers. And they are too dumb to know that half the other creators got on the list as new media. Anyway, again, I want to say you welcome to everybody because I ran your little numbers up. I know it's hard to take it all. The hair, the face, the bod. When you're staring at a demigod, what can I say except you're welcome? You're welcome. Listen. Again, it is. Listen. And again, this is the last thing I'm going to say. There are literally people mad because I investigate. There are people mad because I have sources. There are people mad that because when I put my ear to the street, it starts whispering. You're mad at that? You're mad I investigate? You're mad that I protect people and build trust with people? You're mad that I have empathy and compassion for people and treat them like they are people and not stories? You're mad about that? Okay, I guess, right? And the fact that because their little world doesn't work, that's what y'all got. I'm being paid off by the SDNY to do what? Read court documents. Again, hit dogs are gonna holler. Listen. I'm being paid off by the SDNY to what? According to y'all, I dox the victims. According to y'all, I'm cutting in line, but yet I have a VIP seat, but yet I'm cutting in line, but yet I work for the SDNY, but yet I'm doxing victims. Listen. Also the best one. You're gonna tell Diddy on me? You're gonna tell Diddy? You're gonna take all my lies? You're gonna tell Diddy? You're looking for transcripts? First of all, the lies. You have over 600 hours. You have to separate them by date and time. YouTube allows you to download a transcript of any lives. And dummy, I heard y'all was looking for me. Diddy's PR team been watching my lives. Diddy's PR team's been. Do y'all not think that Diddy doesn't know who I am? This man was glaring at me in court. Do y'all not think that Diddy don't watch my lives? Baby, say what you want, but I had these streets popping. with what I was doing. Do y'all really? You ain't got to tell Diddy ish about me. He already knows who I am. And they've already tried to take me down plenty of times. But please do not worry about what these losers and bums are saying about me on YouTube. Because all they want is that click and view. They want your comments. They want you. You don't got to defend me. I'm not afraid of them. They can't hurt shit. They don't run ish. They don't run ish. They don't run anything. Stop feeding into their mega man. Listen. I need to tell Diddy on you. Who are you? Tell him. He already knows. He probably gonna be like, you busy telling they gonna smell your breath through the phone. I know, we know. Okay, okay, we got it. Okay, we'll talk to her. Hang the phone up. Listen, at the end of the day, so what else happened? So again, Diddy's team was trying to get me out of court. They didn't want me to have that live thing. They didn't like the way so many of y'all were tuning in when I was running down to give y'all the 411. Now, listen, we can argue about whether the jury got it right or wrong, right? At the end of the day, Diddy's team is celebrating that yay, victory. The Mann Act. Yes, the roots are in racist. It's for white slavery. It's very, very racist roots. However, that law has evolved, and that now is a sex trafficking adjacent thing. They use the Mann Act to prove sex trafficking when they can't prove coercion or fraud. It is a sex crime, and the Mann Act, you can Google this yourself, right? The Mann Act was invented, well, not invented, but it was repurposed to get sex traffickers out of here. Diddy is a 2-time convicted felon. And what's more, and this is the thing, I'm going to go live about it because I have a whole thing to lay out. What's more, Diddy's, you know that like this is like an R. Kelly situation. All of the sex workers and even Jane, everybody who Diddy under the Mann Act, they can now go back and sue Diddy civilly and get the rest of his money. This because once I calmed down from this is a travesty, I don't think the jury knew just how bad these charges were and what's it going to look like for Diddy in his future and what's it going to look like for Diddy for civil cases and also criminal cases if any of the newest people want to bring it, because Diddy admitted it. And once you get guilt under the Mann Act, you no longer have to prove consent or coercion. All you have to prove is you felt uncomfortable and you didn't want to do it. That's it. And when I say didn't want to do it, it caused you some type of emotional turmoil. I'll get into that tomorrow, or maybe at the end of this live. Let me get back into the what else happened in the courtroom, right? So the second time that I felt like Diddy's team was trying to get me kicked out of the courtroom, there was somebody that works on Diddy's team, right? And they were talking to a content creator. And I walked by them. Everybody had been let out of the courtroom, and there's the elevator banks. If you've ever been to Southern District of New York, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 12 elevator banks, 6 on each side, right? And in between, it's like the stairwell, and then the other end, you can go to the bathroom on the 26th floor. So it's a wide hallway, and everybody got let out. So everybody got let out. There's 30 people from the public side. There's 30 people from the press side. There's 14 people from, let's just say 15 people from the public side. We're split up into 2 sides, right? This is before there was a new media list. So it was just public, right? So then there's like people that work in the courtroom that came to see, they gave extra. So let's just say there's about, 60 people in the hallway, give or take, because there's other people, and Diddy's family was there too, right? So this person that works for Diddy, I should have known something was up, because that day they had 2 guards by them. And I should have known something was up, but whatever, right? You know me, I'm like, whatever. So I walk by, it's a wide hallway, and thank God people were looking. I walk by, I don't touch anyone, I don't bump anyone, it's a wide hallway. I walk by, and all of a sudden I hear Diddy's person be like, You need to lose some manners. You need to learn some manners. Next time you interrupt somebody's conversation, you need to learn to say, excuse me, and not be so rude. So you know me, I turn my head like, oh, drama, right? Thinking I'm going to give y'all the lowdown. Only when I turn my head like, what's going on? Did I realize she was talking to me. Now in my head, I'm sure in real life, I was just like, because there'll be stuff going on in my head, and in real life, I'm just looking with this look on my face, right? And in my head, I'm like, what is she talking about? So I'm like, what? So I'm like, excuse me? I think I might even said, are you talking to me? Right? Because I forget about interrupting. I didn't even touch them. It was a wide hallway. I just walked by. It's like, you heard me. You need to learn some manners and say, excuse me. By this time, there are 60 people turned looking. There is press. There are bailiffs. Diddy's family's looking. But it looked like they had smirks. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? What the hell? What the hell-y? So I walk up, right? Never wanted to be punked. I walk up right to them. Because, that's another thing. There's a long distance between us. I walk up to them. And I was like, excuse me? And they were like, you interrupted. No, you need to say, excuse me. I said, excuse me for what? You interrupt our conversation. No, I didn't. Now, the other content creator was standing there, was just sitting there. At any time, they could have came in, but this is one of the content creators that was talking to Diddy's team a lot, right? They could have said, she didn't interrupt, she didn't bump up. She was like, you should have said, excuse me. And I was like, but I didn't bump you. You need to learn to say, excuse me and sorry. And I said, but I didn't bump you. Now, around the time, the two guys that were at her side were coming forward, right? Now, just hear me out. They were already by her, but they were closing in as if they expected me to jump on her or something. What do you think? I'm 12 years old. Are you insane? Life is too good, and I am too happy to ever raise a hand to someone just based off of an argument. Have you lost your mind? Like, how old are we? 12? And I can use my words. So I was like, but I didn't bump you. But I didn't bump into you. You need to say sorry. I said, but I didn't bump into you. So what am I saying sorry for? Right? Then she says, well, I saw you, still loud as shit. Well, I saw you and I could tell you was thinking about interrupting. So next time you even think of interrupting, you need to say, excuse me. What? And I said, but I didn't interrupt you. But I saw you thinking about it. I said, I don't need you to regulate me. I know how to self-regulate. So what are we doing here? Right? So then she was like, I told you need to say, excuse me. That's when I laughed. And I said, is this a joke? And she said, is it? And I said, is this a joke? What is wrong with you? So then she was like, you were thinking about it. So then she was like, what did I say? One of us, I don't know who said it first. She might have said, no, when I said I can self-regulate myself, you don't have to tell me. I'm trying to think who said it first. One of us said, well, is there a problem? Like, no, I said it. I was like, what is your problem? So then she was like, do we have a problem? And her two goons moved closer as if to threaten me, right? So that's the way I took it. So then I looked, she's coming right here on me. So I looked down at her and I was like, because I don't know why everybody think I'm 5'2". I am okay, I was about to say I'm 5'9". I am 5'8.5". I am 6 feet in heels. She's like right here on me, right? So I'm like, and so I was like, no, that's what it is. I said, what is your problem? Bleep, because I don't want to say the person's name. I was like, what is your problem? Because prior to that, the last time, and I'll tell you another conversation we have. Hold on a second. So the last time, so I was like, do we have a problem? Because the last time she talked to me, she was trying to be my friend. But that's what I mean about Diddy's team. They try to, in my opinion, bribe you. Then they try to be nice to you. Then they try that thug bully stuff to get you in line. Listen, don't let the sunny disposition fool you. I am my father's daughter. I get real stubborn when people try to bully me. Real stubborn. You are going to have to stomp my head into the concrete. And even then I'll be like, just wait. I am my dad's daughter and my mama's daughter. I get real stubborn when people try to bully me. I don't like being bullied. And people don't realize about me. If you come and ask me nicely, unless it's me like sacrificing my integrity or my morals. But outside of that, if you come and ask me something nicely, I'll most likely be like, yeah, okay, fine. It's not that serious. Right? If it's something that, if you just come and ask me nicely, I'll be like, I mean, it's not that serious. Okay, sure, no problem. But most people don't want to come and ask you with respect because they know if you ask for something from them with respect, they ain't gonna do any, like they're not gonna do it. They just want to be assholes, right? But I'm the type of person, if you come to me and ask me for respect and be like, hey, this and that, I'm not saying you gotta humble yourself, but just be like, hey, do you mind? I'd be like, yeah, it's no problem, right? Unless it's my ethics or my morals or my integrity. Then I'm just like, F out of here, right? So anyway, she was like, do we have a problem? The goons moved up, like closed in, as if they expected me. So I looked at her and did the only thing I could do. Do we have a problem? Right? Do we have a problem? So then, like, by that time, like, it was a thing. I was like, do we have a problem? Do we? And then I just laughed, like, this is a joke, right? But don't try to punk me. And I don't care what goons you have on your side. Do we have a problem? Let me know right now, right? So then I realized, I am still in a professional environment. I'm trying to be professional. This is not high school. You're not going to see me act out of character. The elevator banks opened right down the hall because I told you it's 12, and I sauntered to the elevator. F out of here. Sauntered to the thing. Now, the funny thing is, this is also the same day they were trying to get me kicked out of court by saying I doxed witnesses. Again, when I say these YouTube campaigns are diabolical, the same day that somehow all the people that met all the time with Diddy's people were saying on the same day at the same time, I had doxed, I had doxed, I had doxed, I had doxed. Putting something about, she doxed, but yet I'm being paid by the SDNY, but I'm violating a court order by doxing the victims and hurting their case. Okay, right? It's the same day that, and they tried to get me kicked out over that. And then it's the same day that stupid argument happened over something I didn't even do. And the thing was, right? I thought about it because I'd be thinking, right? You know me, I'm always like, thinking from different angles. And I think what happened was she knew I wasn't going to fight her. That's not me. Now, baby, let me tell you something. I mean, let me just say this. I can handle myself. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't got to worry about me. Y'all don't have to worry about me. But even then, I'm too old for that. But if it does come down to that, baby, we can do some we can do some Mortal Kombat if you want, right? We can do some Mortal Kombat if you want. Don't let the sunny disposition fool you, right? But even then, all jokes aside, that's not a joke, but I'm being serious. But I'm not on that time because, like, life is too beautiful. I don't got time for that mess, right? But I thought about it and I was like, why did she do that? With the two people, I think she thought she was going to make me so mad because some people think I'm so emotional. I believe in what I want. I talk with emotion because I talk with emotion. But I can sit back and evaluate things too, right? And I think what was going on, there's another incident I got to tell you guys about, but let me just tell you my thoughts and comments on this. I think what was going on is two things. Maybe they were hoping that they could provoke me enough that I would try to lay hands on her. And then those two goons could set me straight because Diddy's family been waiting to swing me around by this yacky ponytail. They've been waiting to grab onto this yacky ponytail and bop, 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 bop. They've been waiting, right? So I think they were like, maybe we can incite her to do something and then we can jump on her and swing her around by this yacky ponytail, right? And then they can write a letter to a judge, not even write a letter to a judge because that all happened, right? It was a setup. I never touched them, this and that. They can use that as an excuse to get me kicked out of court. Because the last girl that caused the ruckus, she was banned from the courtroom. And all the courtrooms, even the federal courthouse. So I think they thought that if they could incite me to violence, they could get me banned from the courtroom. And then I couldn't go outside and give you my lives anymore. I'd have to sit behind my desk and read what Inner City Press did, which she did a great job. I would have made that amusing, right? Shout out to BJ Investigate. She did that. And she made it she made it come alive and gave a lot of insight. So I would have did that. There was a way I could have stayed home and made money. But I think they were like, oh, they could have laid hands on me, swung me around by this ponytail, and put some work in, right? But also, then I thought about it, because the best plans have a plan A, a plan B, and plan C. They could have also, think about it, they expected me to be like all these other bloggers, YouTubers, and journalists, not just content creators, but journalists, on-air journalists, reporters, licking their feet. And they expect licking their feet at power. And they expected me to go home and run with the story. Oh my God, you guys aren't going to believe what happened to me with Diddy teaming the Courthouse. But no, again, this is me looking at it could be A, B, or C. Now, what could they gain from that? And this is why I was going through the logical deduction. What could they gain from that? Because I was going to talk about it, but then I thought about it. Wait a second. Because I never touched you. And the hallway was so wide, there's no way that you could have thought I bumped in, touched you, or even said anything. You saw me walk by. And thank God everybody else in the court, that's how wide the hallway was. Everybody else that was standing there saw me walk by. And she still went on. It wasn't just an empty hallway. There were witnesses that were just like, she didn't touch you, because everybody comes out the same way. They would have saw. I was so far away, right? And I was like, what would they have to gain? Well, think about it. Around that time, they want to get me kicked out the courtroom, right? Okay. They want to get me kicked out the courtroom. If I had gone home and I had gone live about it, and I'm like, yeah, you guys, blah, 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 blah. I felt like the next morning, because they're so diabolical, I felt like the next morning there would be in that person's IG comments, yeah, be blank yourself. Don't be messing with Tisa. We gonna blank you. There would be all these burner accounts threatening them. And I feel like from my live, they would have gone in and been like, Your Honor, because of her coverage, she's mobilizing her followers to bully us. So because of that, she shouldn't be in the courtroom, because she's mobilizing and our person and the family doesn't feel safe. And I said, yeah, that would make more sense. So in my mind, I'm like, you either were hoping that I would maybe do something and even push her or do something incited the violence, and then y'all could jump on me and mollywop me and beat me and then get me banned from the courtroom because I started it. Or if that doesn't work, you're hoping I need the click and I need the view. And I'm going to run and talk about some drama that happened in the courtroom, as if the drama isn't Diddy on the thing, some drama that's happened to the courtroom for a click and a view. And then y'all can get you those fake trolls in your comments saying, we're Tisa fans, we're tattletales, and we're going to murk you, B. Blank yourself, B. And then you go and you can take that to the judge and be like, her fans are harassing us. She's inciting hate. The family doesn't feel safe. We want her out of the main courtroom. That's what I thought was happening. So you know what I did? I said nothing. I said nothing. And I said, when this trial's over, then I'll say something. And this trial's over, and now I'm saying something. I did nothing. I did nothing. Because I was like, all this stuff was hitting me at the same time over 2 days. Over 2 days at the same time, this hit me. And I said, yeah, this isn't a coincidence. This is a plan. They have it, and I'm not playing into it. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to stay professional, and I'm going to report what I see and hear. Now, y'all know I report it from what I report it from what I say. I tell you what the other side says. I say, well, anyway, y'all already know. I'm not going to do a whole Moria. Hold on. Have you guys ever had this? Crodini. It is the best soda in the world. Yum. So good. Oh my God, it's so good. There's like 20 different flavors in there. 20 different flavors. Like, I don't know. It's just, there's 20 different flavors. Every time I taste it, I'm like, what is that? Okay, so anyway, right? There's literally 20 flavors in that soda. So anyway, so I was like, no, I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to focus on the case, and I'm not going to be distracted by any of the stuff. And it also was low-key insulting, because like, No offense. Do y'all think like I'm reporting on Housewives? And I say that I have reported on Housewives before, but I was like, no offense. Do y'all think I'm reporting on an episode of, hold on, y'all. My air conditioning is acting up. But no offense. I was like, do y'all think I am reporting on Housewives? And I have. Like, do you think I'm reporting like a fight or some dumb drama that happens? I'm reporting on a case, and it's actually low-key insulting that you guys tried to get me, I think, with the okie doke, right? So then there was another time I had a run-in with Diddy's team, right? So Diddy's team, the same one that everybody was running around kissing their butts, right? The same one that everybody was running around kissing their butts. The same one that everybody was having morning meetings with. And by everyone, I don't mean everyone, but I mean all the haters were. There were a lot of content creators, media, of course, and bloggers that were not, that were being like doing their jobs and doing like whatever. I'm talking about the haters, right? That the haters were having meetings with every morning. The haters were doing this, the haters were doing that, right? That was their God because they thought this was their time to get ahead, to get money for their dental cleanings. But the joke's on you, still yuck mouth, right? So anyway, this was around the time that Cassie's mother had testified, okay? This actually was the day after Cassie's mother had testified. And I'm in the cafeteria, which, by the way, we were not allowed to bring snacks into the courtroom, which I hated. But looking back, they were right, because I know I would have dropped some popcorn on the floor and tried to kick it under the rug. So, okay, fine, right? But nobody was allowed to bring snacks into the courtroom. You couldn't eat in the courtroom. The most you could have would be water in the courtroom, and the water had to be in a clear bottle just to make sure that you had water, okay? So I was in the cafeteria, and every single day I would go and see what the cafeteria had. And no lie, the cafeteria looked like it had yummy stuff in, but I never really had time to eat in the cafeteria. So I would just, but you know me, I'm greedy. I literally am always like, even if there's a buffet in a hotel, I'm not even hungry, and I'll walk through the buffet just to see what's there. You know, I like food interests me a lot. So I would walk through the cafeteria every day just to see what they had. And honestly, they had the same salads. It was like a Greek salad. There was a chicken Caesar. There was like a chef salad. Just like, I mean, it looked good, but there was like an omelet station all the time, or if you had a sandwich, there was fresh cut fruit. It was fine, but there was nothing that delighted me, right? So anyway, I was walking to the cafeteria, just doing my daily scan, just to see what type of soup they had, even though I didn't have time to eat it. But, I'm really interested in it. Hold on, y'all. This is bothering me. But, I'm like really eating it, right? So I'm walking through. And, I'm debating whether I should get a Hershey's chocolate bar. Oh, that's another thing. Sometimes I would be like so tired, but I knew I couldn't fall asleep at court, right? And I'm allergic to caffeine, all right? Any stimulants, actually, I'm allergic to. I think that's common for a lot of ADHD people. I am a medicated ADHD, as you can tell. I am not, to quote Kanye, I'm not taking drugs to lower my superpowers, right? But all jokes aside, I think it's common with a lot of like certain hyperactive ADHD, right? Caffeine does not work for us. Like if I drink coffee, I don't get that awake. I literally go to being sleepy. Like, when you crash with caffeine, you crash really quickly. So instead of making me get awake, it makes me more sleepy, right? And I talked to a bunch of other hyperactive people. They said it's the same thing for them too. Like caffeine and stimulants just don't work right? It actually calms us down, believe it or not. So anyway, to the point of sleepiness. So I'm like, okay, I can't have coffee, but I was like, sugar. And I was like, should I get a Hershey's chocolate bar or the cookies and cream Hershey's? Or the Hershey's with almond. And I'll be real with you, I really, really, really like the Hershey's with almond the most, right? Because for some reason, the cookies and cream one gives me a tummy ache. I know you guys don't care, but we're going to walk through this because this is important. So I was like, I'll get the Hershey's almond bar. And I was sitting there thinking, no, because we're not supposed to eat in the courtroom. And I would try to sneak sometimes. I would take like a chunk of Hershey's and be like, and I was like, no, if I eat the almond, then how am I going to swallow the almond? And they're going to see me chewing, and I'm going to be kicked out the courtroom. Same thing with the cookies and cream. First of all, it always gives you a tummy ache, even though it is my favorite. And you all have the cookie bits. So how are you going to get rid of the cookie bits? So I'm sitting there trying to see how I'm going to hustle the system. And finally I was like, just get the regular Hershey milk chocolate. You can break a piece off, pop it in your mouth. Bet that's what I would do. But keep it in my pocket. And the funny thing is, I'm sure the bailiffs in the courtroom knew what I was doing because I am so obvious. I was probably like, oh, right? I think I was so obvious they knew what I was doing. But I think because I wasn't eating anything, they might have just let it go, right? Or maybe I was that slick they didn't notice. But I think I was obvious because one time I flew too close to the sun and I put in 2 or 3 pieces. I stacked them up and put them in my mouth at the same time. And I was trying to melt them down. But the whole time I'm like, and the bailiff was just looking at me like, and I was like, and then I tried to get up and act like I was running to the bathroom. Anyway, right? So I'm at the in the cafeteria. And I'm in the middle of this decision-making process. So I think I was in the middle being like, no, but where are you going to go with the cookies and cream? So you're going to have to get. And then all of a sudden, Diddy's person walks up to me and says, Tisa, I have a bone to pick with you. And you know me, I turn around and I'm like, no, that's not it. She walked by and I was like, hi, because we always were cordial. I'm cordial to everybody. Like, kindness doesn't cost you anything. To be like, hi, how are you? That's it, right? Even people I can't stand, I'm cordial to, because if there's other people in the room, I don't want to make it uncomfortable for y'all. There are people I can't stand, right? And when I say I can't stand, at the end of the day, you ain't hurt my parents. You ain't talk about my family. You ain't tried to steal my man. Like, at the end of the day, you didn't do anything to me. We just had a misunderstanding. And I'm like, I don't mess with you like that, right? But if we're in a room with other people, I'll be cordial to that person. Not because no, it's because if the other people are there, I don't want to make it awkward for everyone. I don't want people to be like, why are you acting like that? Why didn't you say hi? I don't want other people to be sucked into whatever I'm feeling. So I'll be like, hi, how are you? They know I can't stand them, right? They know I can't. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be cordial because for the social contract, why would I make things awkward for everybody else in the room? Why? For some dumb beef that's not even serious that I might have. So I was like, oh, hi, blankety blank, right? And that's when she's like, Tisa, I have a bone. And when I said hi, I literally said it in passing. Like, it was a rhetorical hi. Somebody says like, hey, how are you doing? I don't really think you're going to tell me that your husband's sleeping with the babysitter. I genuinely just asked a rhetorical question. All you had to do was just nod and say, hey, what's up? That's it. You didn't even have to answer. You could just give me the nod. It was a rhetorical hello, right? So when she's like, oh, Tisa, I have a bone to pick with you, I was like, me? Right? Me? What? Literally, I'm like, I don't even know you. What bone could you possibly? That's what I was thinking in my head. I don't even know you. What bone could you have to pick with me? I don't even literally know your name. I later found it out, but I don't even know your name. So what bone do you have to pick with me, right? So anyway, right? That's when I realized they watch my lives more than my mommy does, or my daddy, which, by the way, mom and dad, if you're watching this, y'all need to get on your job. Anyway, right? So she was like, the other day, you said that Diddy extorted Cassie's mom. And I was like, he did. I literally was like, he did extort her. No, he gave the money back. And I was like, huh? And she was like, do you have the transcripts? And I was like, do you have the transcripts? Not because I couldn't get the transcripts, because y'all took good care of me at the live, baby. Them super chats was popping, and so was some transcripts. I was like, but at this point, this is after Cassie's mom, I didn't even know the transcripts were available because in some trials, they wait until the end to get transcripts. And I've been reporting live so much. So I was like, wait, do you have the transcripts? And she was like, oh, I know why you don't have the transcripts. And I was like, why don't I have the transcripts? And she was like, because the transcripts, she was like, the transcripts are $500. You know what? I'm going to send them to you. And in my head, I'm like, first of all, the transcripts are between 1,500 and 2,000. You don't even know how much the transcripts are. And second of all, I was like, no. I can get the transcript. I'm just wondering, are they releasing? Yeah, they're releasing them. So that's when they tried to offer me the deal again, right? They tried to say, you know what? What's your email? I'll send them to you. It's going to come from a Combs Global. It's just a link from Google. Just click on it. And I was just like, this girl really think I'm about to get my phone hacked, my computer hacked. I already know about Diddy's MO. And you know me, hit the one. I'm sorry, that's so generous, but I don't like taking anything of value from people I'm reporting to. So then she was like, but the thing is, she's like, you need to correct the record. And I was like, correct what record? But I wasn't talking with attitude because, hear me out. I truly believe that most of the time in life, the reason why things erupt is because people talk to people disrespectfully. Everybody has an ego, no matter big or small, and everybody has pride. And there are not many people on this earth that if you make them feel disrespectful, they are not going to lash out. If you make them feel disrespected, they're not going to lash out. So I try to talk to people with the type of respect I would want. I'm being serious because at the end of the day, if there's a problem, I can handle myself. It literally, if it comes to that, I'm fine. But why even get it to that? Why can't we just all be nice to each other? I'm being serious. Like, what is the big effing deal, right? So when I'm saying that, she was like, you need to correct the record. The way I said it was, and this is conversation, I was like, why do I need to correct the record? So I was being respectful still. I was like, why do I need, like, correct what record? And she was like, the thing about extorted, it wasn't extortion. He gave the money back. And that's when I literally grabbed her hand and was like, now, girl. She's like, you should correct her. She was like, he testified that he gave the record back. You didn't tell your followers that. You need to correct the record. I think she was also trying to like play big dog. At that point, I think because I'm always like very sunny, a lot of people think just because you're sunny and very nice and very respectful and deferential, that you're a pushover or you're stupid or that you're easily bullied, right? So I think that's what she thought. Like, oh, like she was trying to show she was big dog and she was trying to let me know like I need to like get on my job and tell my followers this and that. And I'm just in my head like, sometimes when people be talking to me crazy, I just be like, in my head, just looking at them. The whole time I'm looking at them like, and just be like, okay, girl. So I was just like, I grabbed her hand and I was like, it was extortion. Cassie had just sent that email. And then the thing with the mom, and I explained it to her. And she's like, well, you still need to correct the record with your followers and let them know that he gave the money back. And I said, listen, I will be fair. And I believe I said that, but if I didn't, you know what? I will correct the record, okay? I'll correct the record and I'll let my followers know that he did give the money back and that he did not consider it extortion. This is a $20K that Diddy made Cassie's mom send him, or else he was going to release, according to Cassie, the 2 tapes. And Cassie's mom took a home equity loan out in order to pay this man who they all thought was going to, 1, hurt Cassie, and 2, release the blackmail tapes. Okay? All right. Y'all with me? Hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on. I said, I'll correct the record. So if you guys remember, I did a live and I corrected the record. I went on my live and I said, you guys, some of you said to me that I didn't say that Diddy sent the money back. So everybody, Diddy sent the money back. However, I doubled down on it being extortion. And then I walked my live through what the facts were, what extortion was, what attempted extortion was, and the way extortion, as soon as the money hits, it goes from attempted extortion to extortion. And the fact that you send the money back does not make it not extortion. Just like if I rob you tomorrow and then I go to your house and I put everything back in, you still call the police because guess who still robbed you? Me. So I get there and it was that perfect thing about you got what you asked for, but not what you wish. Because I went on that live and I dragged Diddy again for that low down mess about extorting Cassie's mom for $20K. And I ran it on. I said, but you guys, Diddy says that it's not extortion because he gave the money back, even though in law, when you extort someone, just because you give the money back does not in any way change the fact that you extorted somebody, right? So that's what I did, right? Yes, I explained it all. Those of you that are watching live. So that's when they decided they hated me because they realized that they couldn't control me. And they realized that these little gifts that they were giving, that these little transcripts they were giving, that these little payments they were giving, that this access they promised. Oh, you can probably interview Diddy when he first gets out. You don't think that you're being too hard? You don't think that Cassie wasn't a victim? You're mad because all these little tricks and trinkets and shiny things that you were holding in front of all of these bums and losers, the ones that took the Diddy payoff. And no, I'm not talking about all the reporters, content creators and everything, because there's a lot of people that didn't take the Diddy payoff that stood on their integrity, right? But ask yourself why that with the Diddy people, they all have the same talking points. They all say the same thing in the same way over and over and over. Anyway, that's when they decided they hated me. Because I couldn't be controlled. Because I think for myself. Because I say what I think. Now, that doesn't mean you have to agree with me. And you can disagree with the idea, but not, you can disrespect the idea, but not disrespect the person, right? I don't need everybody to agree with me. Like I said, attack the idea, not the person saying it, right? There can be a gentleman's squabble, if you will, but that's when they decided that they hated me because they didn't know how to deal with me. They couldn't buy me. They couldn't bribe me. They couldn't flex. They couldn't play big dog. They couldn't promise me anything, and they couldn't take anything away. Baby, like Kendrick said, there is no accent you can sell me. There's nothing you can give me. There's nothing you can take away. There's no endorsement you can give me. There's no endorsement you can take away. There is no movie premiere you can invite me to. There's no movie premiere you can take away. There's no album release you can invite me to. There's no album release. There is no room I'm trying to get into the network and move my way up. There's no room you can invite me into. There's no room you can kick me out of. Whatever I get, I get. Whatever I get is because of my hard work. And there are no rooms I want to be in if I cannot be fully myself. And what's more, there's no rooms I want to be in or rooms I want to leave if I have to abandon really my morals, my integrity, or my principles. Again, maybe some people it's easier. They abandoned that shit a long time ago. So they ready. They ready. They like, I don't got it. I don't even have any. Let's go. Morals, principles, respect. What's that? Again, this is why I say y'all ride so hard for me. This is why I say y'all ride so hard for me. And why I ride so hard for you, because you guys allowed me to build this platform where I don't need any of these people. All I need is for you guys to vibe with me and understand. Doesn't even mean y'all gotta agree with me, but y'all vibe with me, y'all understand, y'all give me, and I create a space that y'all can give me your opinions right back to me. And keep in mind, stop interacting with these losers. None of them have power. Who you gonna tell Diddy on me? Diddy been watching my ish. Stop listening to these losers. They are insane and they are gaming you. And all this tea I just explained to y'all about the way the lists work, what happened, they all know this. That's why they're gaming you. They're lying to you, acting, trying to make stories. And I said, everybody making a story about it. Since I'm on front page, let me expose my own tea. Let me expose my own tea. I'm just saying, Diddy can't do shit to my channel. Do you know how I know? Because he's been trying to do stuff for the longest. He's been trying to do stuff for the longest. So it is what it is. Really quick, Will Wallace said, no crab. Listen, oh wait, hold on. Will Wallace said, no crab makes it to the top of the bucket without fighting off the crabs beneath it, trying to pull it down. I know that's right. Thank you, Will Wallace. Paperwork Party said, I'm on vacation tuning in. I'm sorry that you were harassed and hated on by content creators. You handled that situation well, and I salute you. What's up, Paperwork Party TV? I haven't forgotten about that steak. I'm in the bushes. Let's go. Y'all, listen, shout out to Paperwork Party TV. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, make sure you do, and follow him on YouTube too. When I say this man be having receipts, he be having court dockets, he be having everything. Shout out to Paperwork Party. You be doing your thing, and you on vacation. You multitasking. I know that's right. Let me start from the beginning. Holly De La Quadri, welcome to the family. I got one more story, but let me do a commercial break and then I'll get to the story. Jared Von Nine just said, Tisa tells, murking the haters on the daily. Thank you, Jared. Tamika Baldwin, just saying, and Sherry Reddy, welcome to the family. Sherry, you actually been a member for a month. You said you love our Title Tales family. Sherry, I do too. You guys are the best. Also, Jared said, this not going to be on the Sunday roast Diddy. This is not going to be the Sunday roast Diddy what it. Yo, let me tell y'all something about Diddy though. As much as these supporters, Diddy got 99 problems. I'm going to get into it a little bit later, but Diddy got some serious problems when it actually comes to these lawsuits coming down the corner. And believe it or not, this ruling by the Southern District of New York just made it so much easier. Jane is about to, well, I don't know if she's going to sue, but if she decides to sue, she better call Douglas Wigdorf. She about to run Diddy's pockets up. And this verdict just made it that much easier. I'm going to explain it in a second, right? Miss M said, man, we don't believe them. Exactly. Miss M is like, but I want to say for everybody gang banging in the streets and windmilling, protecting my honor, I really appreciate it so much. And I go hard for you guys too, but you don't have to with these people. That's what they want. They want that hate rage bait. They just saying anything. They just be saying anything. Talking about they like, shut up. Listen, PR said, period, Tisa. My man. And my man, thank you to my man, baby. Those idiots are, what type of man would be around a woman with a mouth like that? Baby, you don't see, you don't even know God's blessing. I be entertaining my man. I be having him in stitches. He loved this mouth. He loved when I be like, titty, chat. Be sitting there cracking up. That is my bet. What type of man? Oh my God. Tell me you not a disciple of Kevin Samuels. Well, tell me you disciple of Kevin Samuels. Baby, who was it? Rayon. When he was like, listen. Oh, what's up, Tito? Tito, what's going on? Listen, hold on. Jamie said, not you going live to give them more to talk about. Let me go get a drink. They want to see that FBI badge again. Hold on. Y'all want to see the FBI badge? This is my employee ID for everybody just joining. I am doxing myself. I, Tisa, am a federal informant. Hold on. Here we go. I work for the FBI branch of YouTube, and this is my employee ID. I'm spilling my own tea. You guys have found me, and I cannot lie. You guys have found me. Listen. And also, Jamie had a good point. Jamie said if the Emmys, Jamie said if the Emmys considers YouTube media, then so should everyone else. The Emmys considers YouTube media. So why doesn't anybody else? Anyway, that's a good one. V. Brown said, Tisa, put your new ID card on the t-shirt. I think I will. I like that. Thank you. I will. Literally, again. Okay, so anyway, Belle Louise said, hey, Tisa, glad you stood 10 toes down for all of us. Mwah. Thank you, Belle Louise, and thank you for being a member for Belle Louise, a member for 6 months. Mary from Virginia, what's up, mama? Thank you. Valentine TV said he was on bond for Diddy like crime. Court is August for windmilling his ex-girlfriend. Again, that's what I mean. Half these losers going after me have DV charges, and that's why they were. And that's why I was so disgusted by what the jury did, because you sent an okay that domestic violence isn't really violence. But you know what? I will say this, and I've said it to everyone. Listen, start making these fools pay. They talking about, how come you didn't go to the police? How come? Start documenting everything. They put their hands on you, take pictures and send it to them. How dare you do this on Sunday at 5:18 a.m. in the morning, blah, blah. Start making notes in your phone. Start sending them text messages, their mama text messages, their sisters, their brothers, their cousins. Start sending them pictures of your bruises saying, look what your son did to me. Look what your brother did to me. Look what your aunt, uncle, whoever, look what they did to me. Whether they are man or woman, start letting their whole family know. Make a paper trail. Make a paper trail so when you do decide to take action, when you finally heal enough and get the strength to leave, you have a paper trail that nobody can deny. Learn from this case. They want to talk about, oh, it wasn't really great. Next time you feel like somebody's like, dig your fingers into their skin. Dig your fingers into their skin. Literally, dig your fingers into your skin. Go to the hospital. Have them scrape under your fingernails for their DNA. If they did something to you, take that underwear off. Put it in a Ziploc bag. If you're not ready to go to the hospital, put it in the freezer. Preserve that evidence. I'm being serious. Literally, preserve the evidence. Take the underwear off. Put it in a Ziploc bag. Go to the hospital. Let them do an exam on you. Let them take DNA evidence. Whatever you cleaned yourself with when you went home and you were crying, put that in a Ziploc bag. Take that to the hospital with you. Start documenting everything. They have showed you that they do not care about victims of violence. They've showed you they do not care about victims of assault. And they showed you that if you show these people mercy, they will find an excuse to ignore your pain. Don't give them one. Stop it. Next time your boss walks too close to you and rubs against your booty, go to HR, document it, write it in the email. When you rubbed against me, blah, 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 then go to HR and make them do something. Start documenting everything. Start documenting anything. I'm telling you, your future self will thank your present self. It doesn't matter. They hit you and black up your eye. Yeah, you might be healing in the room, and I understand it's going to take some strength. Take a picture of your black eye at your lowest. Take a picture of everything. Send it to everybody they know. So they can't come back 10 years later and be like, I didn't know. Yeah, everybody knew. Everybody already knows now. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. We only have each other. Start protecting yourselves. Start protecting yourself. And anybody that take it any type of way, well, you know the way they take it that type of way. Anyway, Jared by 9 just said bad breath should be a misdemeanor assault. I know that's right. A gate. Listen. Who's this? Hold on a second. 1 second. Lisa Anderson said, since Diddy was found guilty, does he have to register as a sex offender? No, he does not have to register as a sex offender. However, I do not believe he can carry firearms anymore. And more importantly, now that he's admitted in court on record that he is very, very violent, and he admitted to all the violence, and he was convicted of the transportation, that means that if any other accusations like this come, they don't even have to fight to prove that he is a convicted of sex trafficking adjacent crime. The Mann Act was literally made to catch sex trafficking. And let's also not forget, the Mann Act that Diddy was convicted of is what they used to take down R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein, and that guy from that weird cult. So the Mann Act, 2 of those is a super, super heavy charge. Again, Diddy is on borrowed time. He's going to mess up again. He is. Look at what he messed up with Jane. He's going to mess up again. And Jane's about to run his pockets up. But also all those escorts can run his pockets up. And anybody that he does this to again, run his pockets up. A Gabe Wakening said, note, the only guilty verdict was from the male sex worker's testimony, and they basically confirmed the victim's accounts. So crime only matters when men were talking. That is a very, very good point. Let me read that again. The only guilty verdict was from the male sex worker's testimony, and they basically confirmed the victim's accounts. So crime only mattered when the men were talking. Again, Robin M said, Tisa, can you please unblock my account under Robin M? I think it was blocked on accident. Okay, Robin, I don't remember blocking your account, but okay. Barbara Monsinger said, love your energy and reporting with all the humor included. You did an excellent job reporting. Oh, I love you too, Barbara. I will try my best to keep up the good work. And legal paralegal, thank you. Texas Pete said, I enjoyed your commentary throughout the trial. Thanks for being your authentic self. Keep up the great work. You're welcome. Jared, what's up? Said, imagine the haters trying to use this crash out. Yes, and having nasty breath. Jared, when I say that that was the most traumatizing thing that happened to me at the courthouse, the breath came around the corner. Even my security was like, golly. Ugh. Literally, one person is like, he was crashing out so bad, screaming. They was like, literally, those little spit particles that be flying out. They're like, we need a hazmat suit. That itch might eat through clothing. When I say that someone got money for grills, but they don't got money to clean them, I mean somebody got money for grills, but they don't got money to clean them. Anyway, a dentist should say, no, you're going to have to sign up for a bi-monthly cleaning plan if you want to get these grills, but it's a free country. Vicky 740 said, enjoy your holiday weekend, girl. You deserve a break. Thank you. Crystal Hayes said, breathe, Tisa and Wusa. Baby, let me tell y'all something. Some of y'all might be new to my channel. This is me. I'm a passionate talker. We could be talking about what was better, Harry Potter Part 3 or Harry Potter Part 5, and I'll be doing this. This is just me. I'm impassioned, but Wusa, baby, I've been Wusa. What you talking about? What are y'all talking? I don't think y'all have ever seen me angry or even riled up at all. At all. Anyway, PR said, yes, the more the haters talk, the more vehement you are. Now clock that T. Tisa tells us that is on the come up due to her work ethic. Keep watching her rise. Let's go. Exactly. Nicole Brown said, don't give them any more energy. Keep it positive. Exactly. Sarah Israel said, we love you. Stephanie Page, thank you. Wiggs, the real scoop, thank you. And Tom Leo said, won't run up on Zimmerman or Chauvin if he wasn't in prison, but quick to run up on the black woman. Suckers. That was the crazy part. You know, that was the crazy part. All these people tried to run up on a black woman, right? And then you got the dusty, crusty, like just mentally dusty, crusty, male identifying black women. Talk about, she don't like black men while you're watching black men thinking before they saw those two armed guards that they were going to assault a black woman. Like in my mind, I'm like, I am truly in the Twilight Zone. You watched and salivated, hoping that these black men, and again, I'm not even calling them black men, these people, because I got plenty of strong black men around me and they don't look like, no, I reject them. They're not men. But you were salivating at the fact that these bums and losers were going to beat me up. What, humble me? You thought they were going to make me cry? You thought we going to make me cry, right? You thought you was going to see something happen and you were salivating at it. And because I was protected and with two armed guards and pushed back and still did my live and still didn't care and started laughing and dancing. Y'all should have saw that live. I was dancing, laughing, having a ball. Then y'all mounting down. And now these women that were salivating at the fact of seeing a woman get beat up. Now I hate, but really? So if I love black men, what's I supposed to do? Let them beat my ass? Let them jump on me? That's love to you? I'm sure it is. Anyway. Anyway, Melvin Matthews, thank you for the super chat. You said, thanks for being you. Honeybee Therapy, thank you, honey. Hibiscus Rose, what's up, mama? Thank you for being a member for 10 months. And you said you are amazing and relentless. You work so hard. Thank you. Oh, you guys, don't worry. There's a lot of fallout from the Diddy trial. I'm going to get into it all this week. Baby, it's not over. Diddy got 99 problems, and that's sentencing, baby. We need to keep our voices up because people are looking and listening to the sentencing, and we need to let people know that we still think that Diddy deserves to have the book thrown at him. Reek Ruger said, great job, Tisa. Let the hate motivate you. It has. This account said, thanks for your good reporting. Thank you. Labitha Bartholomew said, so proud of you in your heart. Thank you. Shepherd Pie said, love your ID. So cute. Thank you. Beyond Outside said, I just saw a comment that said Diddy didn't do nothing, which is a double negative. It means Diddy did it. Yana, Diddy did it. Melvin, thank you Melvin Matthews, thank you. This account, thank you again. Lisa, KRC Langhamer said, pray for prohibition and hope it's a woman plus an ankle. Pray for probation and hope it's a woman plus an ankle monitor. I don't know. I don't. Oh, Azor. I don't think Diddy's going to get probation. Azor TV said, hey, Tisa, I remember when you had 40K, your growth has become meteoric. Oh my God, meteoric. The hate comes when you prosper in the media. You make us so proud. Azor TV, thank you. You've been a member for 24 months. You've been rocking with me for so long. But you know what? I did want to have this live because I'm like, if everybody else is talking about what's going on, I'll tell y'all what really happened. Sherry Reddy said, Jana, I'm a subscriber, but can't comment. Sherry Reddy said, who shut you down? Our Beauty said, I didn't know this, but I figured this is how they would have done it. Use your common sense, people. Exactly. Who me said, new title till here. You're a force to be reckoned with. Thank you. Who me? Me? Every time somebody comes to me with some bullshit, I'm like, me? Anyway. NT's Apple Bottom Jeans said, Tisa, you're amazing at this job. You're an inspiration to me. You're determined and you didn't give up. You did this all independently. Thank you. Yes, me. Well, no, not just me. I gotta say, where praise is due, it was all of us. Like literally, y'all uplifted me. Y'all are my village. It was us. Again, it was us. Hold on, y'all. It was us. Anyway, Jen said, tell it, girls. Thank you for being a member for a month. Rox Falk said, I have a question for the audience. Do we all agree? Listen, do we all agree this is gossip and nobody expects Tisa to be right 100%? 99% is good enough for me. Thank you, Rox Falk. Let me just say one thing, too. Okay. I thought Diddy would be completely guilty on all charges. Okay. But he still got convicted of 2. And they serious. I don't know why everybody acted like he just got away scot-free. Nunya, New York Business, said, I just got here, but I wanted to tell you that Dusty yelling at you is out on bond, lives in Texas, and came to New York without permission. He is out on bond for beating his baby mom. I'd like to email you the info if you like. Nunya, tisatells@gmail.com. What? That one of the Dusty yelling at me is out on bail, lives in Texas, and came to New York without permission. He's out on bond for beating up his baby moms. I believe it. And this is the person that those Dusty women are supporting. Talk about she don't like black men because I'm not letting somebody beat me up, intimidate me, make me cry, and humble me. I don't like. You should ask yourself why you don't like black women and you're a black woman. How about that? Clock that T. Restored Faith said, as a survivor of trafficking, it meant so much for you to cover this trial. Oh, Restored Faith, thank you. Restored Faith, thank you for doing that. Keep doing you, boo. And F the haters. We love you. Thank you so much. Listen, we're not going to talk about them again, but I did want to give y'all a humorous thing and also tell y'all what happened from my own mouth. Ms. Prissy, thank you for being a member for 8 months. You said, let's go, Tisa. And Jamie Overstreet, welcome to the family. Oh my God, and Jamie, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Lynn Gold, let's separate your Gould, let's separate your 3rd super chat on live stream. And thank you for the super chat. The AKT said, you were raised with love and hugs. You prosper because you put in the work. Isaiah, that's right. At 54:17, every weapon fashioned against you shall fail. Baby, exactly. Also, and from your lips to God's ears, oh my God, paperwork party. Thank you. You said, Tish, we got your back. You bought the truth about the Diddy trial. R.I.P. Kim Porter. R.I.P. Angie Stone. R.I.P. Whitney Houston. Y'all, thank you so much, Paperwork Party. And TV, make sure y'all follow Paperwork Party TV on IG and on YouTube. He be breaking this mess down. He is the OG investigative reporter to his heart, and he be getting court documents. Tamisha Bertrand said, now that Diddy case is all over, will you be working with Nancy Grace on other cases? I will. Longtime fan and follower. You're a great journalist. So, Nancy, ABC, all those places have invited me back to collaborate. You are going to be seeing me a lot more, and I am working on something big. I don't want to say it and put it out there for monitoring spirits to mess it up, but something big is coming down the path, okay? But I just don't want the monitoring spirits to mess things up. Felicia Hurston said, Tisa, later for these bottom feeders, we love you. You're simply the best thing. Keep doing what you do. Thank you so much. And Jamie Overstreet said, thank you for your integrity. Also, Layla House of Horror said, Tisa, your name is being used for views. You made it. Exactly, Mama, I made it. I made it, Mama. I made it. Woo! Thank you, Virginia Martinez. Thank you. And this is your 5th super chat on the live stream. Thank you. Callie Steve, what's up, Callie? You've been with me since the Portia Simon days. We've been rocking. Callie Steve said, proud of you, Tisa. Even though I do want to do an update on Portia and Simon, Portia's still a mess, but Simon is back in Dubai. I wonder how long before he sells that house out under Portia. Anyway, Mackenzie Rose, thank you so much, Callie Steve. Mackenzie Rose said, hey, beautiful, great coverage on the crowd. Will you be covering? Oh, yeah, I did. Will you be covering anything on Shanquilla Robinson again? Mackenzie, I do plan to. Do y'all know with Shanquilla that the Mexico never even sent the warrant to the U.S.? And people are sitting there looking at Mexico strange, which they should be. But did you know that the U.S. never even asked for the warrant? Some strange things. Listen, Sherry Brady said, who wears dirty grills on 2 teeth? Exactly, baby girl. Let me see you do your dance. Let me see you twirl. Chris John Baptiste said, I was around Tisa many times at the trial, and she is solid. She kept the same energy the whole time and stood on biz. Thank you so much, Chris John Baptiste. Everyone else was going along to get along, to be in the Mama Combs' good graces, and they were. And thank you, Chris John Baptiste. Peace and put the star in the corner of the ID. Exactly. Virginia, you guys, this is my federal ID. I work for the FBI branch of YouTube, and that is my employee ID. Also, Joanne, welcome to the party. Virginia Martinez said, hey, Tisa, I would love to be your attorney once I graduate from law school. Virginia, I'll probably need it. Please hit me up, Mama. And congratulations to you doing the good fight and getting through law school. We need more lawyers. We need more lawyers fighting the good fight. And get that money, too. Joanne, welcome to the Tattletales family. Blessed 1952 said, Tisa's got a whole lot of sense and self-control. She doesn't fall for the okie doke. Love you. Thank you. Be blessed. Sharina Wilson said, Tisa did not go to New York to play. Left them all in the dust. Amazing coverage. Thank you so much. Also, Nana7 said, I'm glad that you stay true to yourself and use, I know it there. Listen, I know they were paid off. Oh, wait. And I know they were paid off. I saw it because the things that you were saying, they were not saying it. I didn't believe them. Blood from Belgium. Now you're in Egypt. How is Egypt going? How is Egypt going? Egypt is, well, I want to know. I've never been to Egypt, actually. I was thinking about Morocco. I've never been to Egypt actually. Let me know how it is. Exactly. You can always tell when something's paid off because, listen, everybody has their own opinion. And everybody can have their own opinion about stuff. But when you see people saying the exact same thing in the exact same order to the exact same thing over and over and over, that's a talking point. That is a talking point. Bailey, what's up? Thank you for that super chat. 997, you enjoy Egypt. Oh, I want to get to Belgium one day. Listen, all the summer, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to the Faroe Islands. I'm going to Norway. I'm going to, well, let me stop saying where I'm going. Diddy's goons might meet me, but I'm traveling this summer. James Johnson said, get your life, Miss Tisa. You know we love you, girl. James, and I love y'all. I love y'all. I am so grateful for all of you guys. Listen, I am so grateful for all of you guys and everything that you've done for me. And I hope I make you proud. And don't worry. Listen. Oh, wait, what's this? I missed one. BRDXQ1, the ghost, says, honestly, I hope the jury gets investigated for tampering because of causing an overturned conviction. Wishful thinking. I know. I hope. I don't know. Listen, I'm sure the jury didn't do anything illegal. However, I hope the Southern District of New York is looking into everything just to make sure. I mean, at the end of the day, if they wasn't doing anything, right, Ghost? If they weren't doing anything, then they have nothing to worry about, right? Right. They got it. They don't have anything to worry about. Also, Veronica Arzola said, Tisha, you're going to be, oh, thank you. You're going to be, wait, are you going to be there on the 8th? Yes, I will be at the court on the 8th. Don't worry. Oh, you're talking about for the bail hearing? I will be there on the 8th. Don't you worry, okay? Maybe. I'm kind of chilling. I'm actually having fun kind of chilling, but I think I might be there for the 8th. I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to be there on sentencing. I will be there for sentencing. 100%. You can count on it. And this time, my baby already said, for now on, when I step foot anywhere in the Diddy trial, I need to have 3 armed guards on me because he is not. He said no. He didn't like the way things went down, so he's like, okay, we don't have to bump this up to 3 armed guards, but it will be what it will be. Anyway, you guys, don't forget, tomorrow is the bail here. It's the not the bail hearing. It's the sentencing hearing where they're trying to, the judges set sentencing, I think, for October 2nd. And they have said that if you don't want that, if you want it sooner, then they're going to have to petition. So the bail hearing to see when the date actually is going to be set, that is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be tomorrow. Okay, you guys? Oh, who says? Oh, 997 said, I'm Moroccan. Egypt is great. Hit me up when you're in Belgium. You're doing a great job. Stay true to yourself. 997, don't tempt me. I will 100% hit you up. Anyway, you guys, listen, thank you for joining me for this Sunday Night Live. But listen, Chris John Baptiste said, I thought the 8th was remote. I have to check. I really honestly have to check. I know it is. I have to see whether it's going to be in the courtroom and they'll allow the public in or whether it's going to be remote. We will see. It doesn't matter whether it's remote or in person. I am 100% going to be covering it. I am 100% going to be covering it. All right. Anyway, you guys, listen, let me get out of here. Thank you for the Sunday Night Live, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye. Thank you guys, everybody, for everything. As soon as I can figure out here we go. Let me end stream. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.